Following the identification of audit sections, this application is used to document relevant assertions together with their risk ratings for inherent risk, control risk, and detection risk, and the responses to the identified risks, whether tests of details, analytical procedures, and tests of controls. Documentation is also done for the results of carrying out audit procedures following the requirements of ISA 230. The risk assessments are done following the requirements of ISA 315. This is the home screen of the application. It shows the number of significant risks identified in the current year and the previous year. On the top, you have a button that says Audits. Clicking that button displays the next screen, which has a table that shows the audits. The column headers for the table are the audit year, the name of the audit, the significant risks, which is the number of significant risks in that audit, and the column that says View has a button, which when clicked displays the details of that audit. On the top right, you have a button that says New Audit. So clicking that button opens this form, which is used to create a new audit. The details that go into the form are the audit ID, the name of the audit, and the period end, which is selected using a date picker. So let me capture a client name and select the period end as 31st December 2024. So clicking this button that says Enter creates that audit in the application and then displays this screen, which is the profile for that audit. It has 6 tables. The first one is for the spectrum of inherent risk. The second one is for responses to identified risks. The third is audit risk elements. The fourth is for assertions for transactions and events and related disclosures for the period under audit. The fifth is for assertions for about account balances and related disclosures at the period end. And then the one on your right, the sixth, is for working papers. It shows the working paper number and the objective of the working paper. It's populated as new working papers are created in the application. Each of the tables has a column, the last column that has the header View, with buttons in that column are clicked to view the details of the selected line item. This is the form that is used to create an assertion in the application. It has a drop-down menu at the top with options to select whether the assertion is about classes of transactions and events and related disclosures, or whether it's about account balances and related disclosures. Selecting an option from that menu populates the drop-down menu below it with assertions for the selected option. Selecting an option from that menu will populate the field below it. So this will then be completed with say existence of PPE. So the options below that are used to select ratings for inherent risk, control risk, and detection risk. The options are between medium, low, and high. The options next to them are used to select options for responses, for test of details, analytical procedures, and test of controls. The options are between yes and no, while the buttons that say risk assessment and audit evidence are clicked to display forms that have text areas for risk assessments, audit evidence, and responses. Selecting the option high for inherent risk will display a mark of significant risk for this assertion that is displayed everywhere in the application for that assertion, and will select yes for test of details as a default. So clicking enter will create this assertion in the application. This is the form that is used to create a working paper in the application. At the top, there is a field for the working paper number. Let me say working paper 1. Below that is the audit name and the period end, which are auto-populated. Then below that is a drop-down menu for selecting whether the relevant assertion, the assertion in question is about classes of transactions, events, and related disclosures, or it's about account balances and related disclosures. Selecting an option populates the drop-down menu below it with assertions for the selected option. So selecting an option from that menu will populate the field for the objective with set to ensure the existence of, which is then completed with say PPE. Then below that, on the right is a text area for the references, and then on the left of that is buttons which are clicked to display forms that have text areas for details of different sections of the working papers. The sections are audit procedures, results and audit evidence, significant matters arising, inconsistencies and departures, and the auditor and the review details. So clicking enter will create the working paper in the application.